I cycle into town with the kids. Sometimes I cycle in for college and sometimes for just socialising. One of the things that really feel unsafe when I have the kids is moving when we go from a segregated cycle path back onto the road. So we have to figure out how to get off the path into traffic. And when you go from that protected feeling of having the curb to keep the cars away, and suddenly you're going into sharing a narrow lane with taxis and buses, it can be quite intimidating. Another thing that we find kind of very difficult and tricky to manage and keep everybody safe through is when a shared lane where there's a bit of painted cycle lane shared in a bus lane, as the road narrows, when that painted cycle lane just disappears, and it's very hard to predict if the car or driver behind you is going to let you go ahead or if they're going to try and squeeze past you. And they can the drivers can also, if you're trying to position yourself to be in a safe spot because that cycle lane is about to disappear, drivers can take that as you attempting to hold them up and they can get aggressive and tailgate you. Another situation that we find, difficult and tricky to manage with drivers around us is when there appears to be a nice, segregated cycle lane to the side of the road and the drivers are expecting you to use it. But it can be tricky to actually access it because the curb isn't dished enough or it's a bit too sharp an angle. So you're predicting these things, you're thinking, it'll be safer for me to just stay on the road for a few meters than try and hop off and hop back on. To make this route safer, the segregated route the whole way, there's plenty of width for it. The road is 4-5 lanes wide in different parts. Through Fairview, it's probably 6 lanes, I think, at some points. So there's room for a safe segregated cycle lane, and that would remove all the need for getting mixed in with cars and buses, having to swap from the path back onto the road, having to get through traffic lights and all this kind of stuff. So that's what we really like to see, some segregated infrastructure from there into town. It's a very popular route.
A bit bumpy here, lads. Look at all these cars. Okay, speed in the car.